sent home to the NBA MVP, Kevin Garnett.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we direct your attention to center court. The Minnesota Timberwolves are pleased to welcome NBA Commissioner David Stern for a very special presentation.
It's been a year of firsts. The first time that the Timberwolves won the Midwestern Conference, the first time that the Timberwolves had the best record in the Western Conference, the first time that the Timberwolves had the most valuable player in the NBA. And that player led this league in total points and total rebounds. The first time in 29 years that has been done. Kevin, you play this game with a passion, with an energy, with a devotion, with a respect, and with a loyalty to your fans. Congratulations. 2003-2004 NBA MVP, Kevin Garnett.
I just want to say thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Glenn Taylor. Thank you, organization. Thank you, my family, and thank you, fans.
With the 15th pick in the 2004 NBA Draft, the Boston Celtics select Al Jefferson from Prentice High School.
Prentice High School is in Mississippi. Jay?
Al Jefferson is a strong, powerful player. He's really wide. He's got a big body. He's not as polished as Dwight Howard, but he rebounds at a really high rate. He is long-armed, and he is a man. I think he's kind of an Elton Brand type player, and he can shoot it from face-up position. He's a very good shooter. He can run the floor. He's deceptively athletic and can really get off his feet. I think he's really explosive. I'm surprised he lasted this long. This is a pretty solid pick at 15 for Boston to be able to get a guy that's as relentless and has as much upside as Al Jefferson. I like him as a player very, very much. He's undersized, but he's long enough to make up for it.
Did you see those sweet two-tone uniforms? Those were nice. They were incredible. Although Boston losing men possibly, Blount possibly, they need someone inside. When I think about the pick, I'm saying to myself, you let go
of Eric Williams and Tony Petit when you traded him for Ricky Davis. You needed some size, you needed some bulk, you needed a tough guy on your front line. It's glad to see that Danny Ainge got Paul Pierce some help, at least some rebounding, so Paul Pierce can get some more shots.
This is the 5th high school player taken of the first 15 in the draft, and that's a record for the first round. Never had this many players taken. We're only halfway through round 1. Andy Katz, give us some more background as you've been following these high school players here on Jefferson.
The Boston Celtics gave up Randy Foye for Sebastian Telfair and Theo Ratliff, who were included in the Kevin Garnett deal, and a 2008 second-round pick that was used in the Ray Allen trade. The Boston Celtics gave up a lot to get Kevin Garnett, Al Jefferson, Gerald Green, a former slam dunk champion, Theo Ratliff, Ryan Gomes, Sebastian Telfair, and 2 first-round draft picks, one of them Johnny Flynn and Wayne Ellington, all for the big-ticket Kevin Garnett.
In 2010, Al Jefferson was traded to the Utah Jazz for Kosta Koufos, a 2011 first-round pick, and a 2012 first-round pick. This was a very curious deal, since Jefferson was coming off a good rebound year after tearing his ACL, and there was no urgent need to trade him. To make matters worse, they moved Modiunas with Johnny Flynn, then dealt those pieces they got back for him. Before the 2012 draft, the Wolves traded away the Jazz first-round pick they got for Jefferson, and while that pick became Terrence Jones, who's a starter for the Rockets, they got back Chase Budinger, who's played 64 games in 2 years, and Lior Eliyahu, who will never see the inside of an NBA locker room. Al Jefferson has gone on to earn All-NBA third-team status, just on the edge of being an All-Star, while David Kahn turned him into Chase Budinger and Lior Eliyahu.
Of recent to this video, Chase Budinger's $5 million expiring was traded to the Pacers for Rudez, who has a probably $1 or $2 million contract for the next 2 years. Theo Ratliff, in the trade, later reached a buyout agreement in the middle of the season and then later signed with Detroit.
He then traded Babbitt to the Blazers with Ryan Gomes for Martell Webster, whom the Wolves waived after 2 seasons of undistinguished play, but who is now a very dependable backup wing for the Wizards.
He blew it out! He blew it out, Chuck! Chuck, he blew the candle out! Oh, you kidding me? Oh, he actually blew it out! He blew it out! Wow, that's...
The Timberwolves traded Green to the Rockets for Kirk Snyder, who finished his last season in 2008 with the Timberwolves, and a second-round pick in 2010, Pablo Prestes, who has never played in the NBA even still, and cash. Sebastian Telfair, part of the deal, was traded with Smith and Madsen to the Clippers for Quentin Richardson. Please note that that was a David Cunt trade. The Timberwolves had Quentin Richardson, and then halfway through the offseason, they trade him to the Heat for Mark Blunt, and then Mark Blunt later gets waived by the Timberwolves in March of 2010, not even finishing the season with them.
Here's the commissioner, David Stern. With the 6th pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Johnny Flynn from Syracuse University. Loves it, not because, Johnny Flynn is the guy that they love from Minnesota, but because,
Stephen Curry is still available.
With the 6th pick, he chose point guard Johnny Flynn. With the 18th pick, they chose point guard Ty Lawson. At 28th, Wayne Ellington. And at 45th, Nick Calathis. Johnny Flynn started okay in Minnesota, but an injury hindered him, and he was traded to the Rockets for Brad Miller, the rights to Nikola Mirotic, the rights to Chandler Parsons, and a lottery-protected 2013 pick, which became Andre Robertson. Brad Miller was quickly traded with a 2013 second-round pick and a 2016 second-round pick for a 2017 second-round pick that must be one of the last 5 picks, or else it just goes away. Mirotic was eventually traded to the Bulls for Norris Cole and Malcolm Lee. Cole was shipped to the Heat for Bojan Bogdanovic, a 2014 second-round pick, and cash. After 2 forgettable years, Lee was traded in 2013 along with Andre Robertson for a 2014 second-round pick and cash, and the Wolves sold that pick to the Rockets for more cash. Bogdanovic was later traded to the Nets for a 2013 second-round pick, the same pick they had traded away with Brad Miller, plus even more cash. The same day they got Parsons, they traded him to the Rockets for a 2012 second-round pick that was not exercised and $1.5 million in cash. Ellington played 3 below-average years with the Wolves before flipping him straight up for Dante Cunningham in 2012. After 2 seasons of undistinguished play, the Wolves let Cunningham go.
The Timberwolves traded a lot of the players that they got from the Kevin Garnett deal, or just waived them for no reason. But, the Timberwolves have the rights to, I cannot pronounce that name. And they got that along with Chase Budinger for basically Al Jefferson. They waived Theo Ratliff. Martell Webster came from the Ryan Gomes trade and then they waived him. Kirk Schneider from the Gerald Green trade never re-signed, but they still have the rights to Pablo Prestes. Mark Blunt was waived. He was involved in the Telfair trade that turned into Quentin Richardson. And the Timberwolves still have the 2017 Pelicans second-round pick, only if it's the last 5 picks of the draft. And again, Cunningham was waived.